It's been all over the news today that Justin Bieber unfollowed his wife on social media, leading to so much speculation about the state of their marriage. And
I hit a little bit of an emotional breakdown because I thought marriage was gonna fix all my problems.
Hailey, c'est true Kanye said about the nose?
And
Yes.
I have heard
It is a cult.
that like the top members of that cult get like girlfriends. And I have heard, I'm kind of like a blind item freak.
Is Chris Pratt associated with
He's in
Hillsong?
Hillsong. I heard he was supposed to marry Hailey Bieber, but they gave her to Justin.
Her dad dragged her out of bed in the morning. And basically was like, you know, I think because she was raised Christian and I think they found out that, like, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure.
Something very strange is happening with Justin and Hailey Bieber, and it's starting to seem like Kanye West might have been right all along. Kanye has been calling Hailey out for years, accusing her of allegedly lying about plastic surgeries and even exposing rumors about a fling with Drake. At the time, most people dismissed Kanye's comments, accusing him of being a bully. But now, with growing reports about Justin and Hailey's marriage allegedly being on the brink of collapse, fans are beginning to reevaluate everything. The red flags in their relationship could fill an entire documentary, from how they got together under questionable circumstances to Justin proposing just 2 months after breaking up with Selena to him looking unhappy ever since.
Are you gonna propose to Selena Gomez? You guys make a really good couple. I see that smile.
Then there's the rumored involvement of shady celebrity churches and allegations that Justin was trying to expose powerful figures in the industry preying on young artists until he was suddenly silenced and allegedly assigned a handler to keep him in line. There's so much to unpack here, so let's dive right in.
Hailey Bieber is very religious, and her dad is like crazy religious, and Justin Bieber is very religious. So you're saying there is like a very religious, famous cult where they like put them off to each
Hillsong
other?
is the church they all belong to.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, there's about to be a documentary that I think is about to come out on Hillsong because they're getting, I mean, one by one, like the escapades of the top leaders of that church are coming to light, and I think
You don't need to be a believer to notice that something seems seriously off with Justin Bieber lately. For quite some time now, Justin hasn't seemed like himself, and fans have been throwing side-eye at his marriage to Hailey Bieber.
Happy holidays, Jay. Happy holidays, Justin.
It's not gonna happen today.
You know when?
Have a good one, Justin.
Justin, I'm gonna keep you in my purse.
A little bit later, maybe? Jay, maybe later? Justin Bieber? Enjoy your walk,
There's
Jay.
been some strange activity on Justin and Hailey Bieber's social media accounts lately, and fans think they might be taking subliminal shots at each other. It all started when a TikToker pointed out that Justin posted an IG story with Bead by James playing in the background, a song about keeping things casual with no emotional attachment. Things took a messy turn when Hailey seemingly responded with her own song choice. She posted a screenshot of lyrics from 30 for 30 by Drake, specifically the line, "But if it's F me, then it's F you." That alone was enough to send social media into a frenzy. But it got even weirder when fans noticed Justin had unfollowed Hailey on Instagram. While Justin later claimed his account was hacked, fans weren't buying it. After all, if someone went to the trouble of hacking his account, why would they just unfollow Hailey instead of leaking DMs, posting something wild, or wiping his account? And if it really was an accident, Justin could have easily said he hit the unfollow button by mistake, or quietly refollowed Hailey and let it blow over. But instead, he turned it into a spectacle, which only made fans even more suspicious.
Alright guys, so everyone's talking about this right now. I didn't even see this. If you look at page 6, anywhere you get your celebrity gossip or news, it says that Justin Bieber is now unfollowing his wife Hailey Bieber on Instagram. So clearly that is a move. He unfollowed a few people, I believe Diddy, Usher, and now his wife and people are saying that there is trouble in paradise. They're saying that right now, him and his wife are not getting along, Hailey Bieber. Obviously, anything can be put out into the news, and we will dissect it. It doesn't necessarily make it true. I think it's a bold move. I don't think that that was an accident for him to unfollow his wife. I think that that just sends a statement to everyone, and I'm wondering exactly what that statement is. Now, as you guys know, Hailey and Justin had a baby recently, but that doesn't mean everything's blissful in paradise.
Fans are now convinced that this is just another piece of a much bigger and darker story surrounding Justin and Hailey Bieber's marriage. Many believe that Justin has been crying out for help ever since he married Hailey. Think about it, he's seemingly lost his passion for music, barely interacts with his fans anymore, and every time he's seen in public, he looks either miserable or completely zoned out. On top of that, there's growing speculation that he might be on some kind of heavy. Now, here's where things get even sketchier. According to leaked documents from last year, Justin reportedly signed with TriStar in November 2022, a company run by none other than Lou Taylor, the mastermind behind Britney Spears' infamous conservatorship nightmare. But it doesn't stop with Britney. There are also rumors that Lou Taylor, who happens to be a close friend of the Kardashians, was involved in an attempted conservatorship of Kanye West.
And a person came to my house that wasn't a Christian and told me come over, and then 30 minutes later I was in handcuffs headed to the hospital. One of the things that people do now is they try to discriminate against my mind and my thoughts.
See, both Kanye and Britney have publicly claimed that their handlers force them to take high doses of lithium, a powerful medication that can seriously mess with a person, and #039's mind.
When I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed.
He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to.
Now, Justin's fans are starting to worry that he might be going through something similar. Ever since his marriage to Hailey, he hasn't been himself. He stopped performing, skipped red carpet events, and always seems completely checked out.
I remember just struggling. I remember feeling like emotionally just overwhelmed and talking to her, not knowing how to like communicate certain things and just feeling kind of like frustrated. You know, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my life, and I think there was just a point in my life where I was just so overwhelmed. I'm just being a normal person and crying. I think when I'm in the media, or I look at things on the internet and people are like, Justin's upset. Why is he upset? It's like they don't give me permission to be upset. I don't have permission to be, you know, human and shed tears. And there's so many people every day who are in a conversation with their girl or their wife or their mom and they break down, you know, but they don't have cameras capturing it, you know, so people are like, is he okay? He's having a mental breakdown.
But if you thought that was bad, it gets even wilder. Right after Justin signed with Lou Taylor's company, news broke that he sold his entire music catalog for $200 million. Selling your masters is typically a last resort for artists. So why would Justin, one of the biggest talents of this generation, suddenly cash out? And, more importantly, who convinced him to do it? Now, $200 million might sound like a huge payday, but Justin's catalog should be worth far more than that. For context, Justin's former manager Scooter Braun made a staggering $360 million by selling just 6 of Taylor Swift's masters, and that wasn't even her entire catalog. So why did Justin settle for what seems like a lowball offer? Did he really want to sell? Or was there someone, or something, pushing him to do it? What's even more suspicious is that, around the time Justin hired Lou Taylor and sold his music catalog, reports started surfacing claiming that Justin was done with the industry and wanted to disappear to live a quiet life. An insider told Radar Online that Justin hasn't felt right with the world for some time, and his stardom weighs heavily on him. Even his therapist reportedly suggested that if his career makes him unhappy, he should make the hard decision to step away. The source also claimed that Justin feels the pressure of the music industry isn't good for him and that he just wants to disappear with Hailey and enjoy his money. But are we really supposed to believe that Hailey Bieber would willingly step away from the spotlight? This is the same Hailey who has been exposed for staging paparazzi photos multiple times. And to make it even more absurd, she later went on a podcast claiming she hates the paparazzi so much she sometimes feels like physically hurting them.
When there's paparazzi following me, I have a flash in my head of like getting out with a baseball bat and literally destroying their car. Like, I literally sometimes it makes me just so annoyed that I'm like, one of these days, I swear to God, I'm gonna get out of the car with a baseball bat and
Huh? It could just be right here, yeah?
But that's not all. Justin's fans have uncovered some seriously creepy connections between Lou Taylor, Hailey Bieber, and some shady celebrity churches.
Talk about it? I think it's time. I think it's time we talk about it. If you're looking at this chart and you see some names you recognize, it's because these are all celebrities who have been associated with the Hillsong Church. Oh, we can't forget one more, Miss Sober herself. The church, if you do not know, is the mega church of all mega churches. It has a very dark past, and we're going to talk about it today. Like I always say, everything I'm about to say is alleged. I don't know these people. I don't want to know these people. I'm just some bitch on the internet, and frankly, you don't have to believe me. The Hillsong Church was started in 1977 in Australia by crusty old dusty Frank Houston. In 1999, Brian Houston, his son, would go on to become the new leader. In 2003, they would open up a church in New York City, and one of the previous assistant pastors would go on to pretty much run that church. This is Carl Lentz. He is all of the celebrities' best friend and spiritual leader. In 1999, a woman would go on to confide in two church pastors, letting them know that Frank had essayed her son. I don't think she realized the craziness that would ensue after this. So in court, it was alleged that Frank had essayed a boy between the ages of 7 and 12. The victim would eventually come forward to give more details, stating that Frank was a family friend. He would come visit their family regularly, and every time he came by between the ages of 7 and 12, he would visit his room every single night. He stated that Frank lost interest by the time he hit puberty. The victim did not tell his mom until 8 years later, and the reason he told her is because he states that his mom wanted him to go to counseling with Frank to improve his behavior. He alleges that the first time he went to go visit Frank, he found Frank doing something really nasty under his desk. He did not stay, and when he got back home, that's when he decided to tell his mom. Her response, you might ask, and I quote, "You do not want to be responsible for turning people away from the church and into hell." It took her 20 years to tell those two pastors. Before Frank officially confessed, which he did end up doing, the victim alleges that Frank called him and asked him to meet him at McDonald's. Frank would go on to offer him $10,000 and then ask him to sign a McDonald's napkin to agree to it. The victim also alleging that Frank told him that he needed to apologize to him because he could not face God with this hanging over his head. So not that what he did was disgusting and traumatic and awful, but because he needed to save his own soul. Several months later, he still hasn't gotten any money, so he reaches out to Brian, Frank's son, who is now the new leader of the church. And I'm so sorry for having to include this picture. I feel like he's looking through my soul. It's actually a very terrifying photo. I feel like he knows all my secrets. He goes on to ask Brian, hey, why hasn't my money arrived? Brian tells him, and I quote, "You know it's your fault. You tempted him." The victim stated that he was hurt by this, and he actually went on to ask Brian if he was also essayed by his dad. Brian got belligerent, he was yelling, he was swearing. He hung up the phone, and the victim received the check 2 weeks later.
It turns out Lou Taylor was actually a board member at Hillsong Church, the mega church that Justin started attending after marrying Hailey. And if that wasn't enough, Lou's husband, Rob Taylor, is a pastor who founded another sketchy celebrity church called Calvary Chapel. Get this, according to a New York Times report, Britney Spears' dad, Jamie, used to make regular transfers from Britney's accounts to Calvary Chapel while he was her conservator. Going back to Hillsong, after Justin's former friend and lead pastor Carl Lentz was accused of inappropriate behavior, Justin and Hailey announced they were leaving. But it didn't take long before they joined another strange celeb church called Church Home. Here's where it gets even crazier. Judah Smith, the lead pastor at Church Home, is allegedly super close friends with Hailey's dad, Stephen Baldwin, the same Stephen who arranged for Hailey and Justin's first meeting. According to a circulating Reddit thread, Stephen supposedly asked Judah to help convince Justin to marry Hailey. And remember that time Justin went on Ellen and joked about being in an arranged marriage? At the time, everyone laughed it off like it was just a joke. But now, it doesn't seem so funny anymore.
I think because she was raised Christian, and I think they found out that, like, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure. I'm not... Looking back now, I'm like, it was definitely an arranged marriage. Like, they set this whole thing up.
Now, Justin's fans are starting to get seriously concerned, and some are even questioning if Hailey could be one of those handlers Kanye warned us about. Remember when Britney Spears had her end quote, handler, and quote, Sam Asghari? He was allegedly paid to pretend to be her husband and essentially keep her under control. And then there's Kanye's current wife, Bianca. The timing of their marriage is way too suspicious. In fact, Kanye himself even warned that if he disappeared and came back, it wouldn't actually be him.
Never went anywhere, we know why. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, guess what? Kanye did disappear for about 2 weeks right after they canceled him. And then he suddenly resurfaced with Bianca, a woman that no one had ever heard of before. Kanye has always been vocal about the shady people behind the scenes running the entertainment industry. Remember how he started calling out these execs in 2022? Well, he even took some shots at Hailey after she joined the bandwagon to drag him right when he was exposing everything. Kanye shared a post addressing Justin and wrote, "You're all programmed sheep. Justin, get your girl before I get mad." By the way, Kanye also taunted Hailey over her past romance with Drake and shared a screenshot of an old Entertainment Tonight article with the title, "Getting Serious. Drake wears H necklace after date night." In the caption, Kanye again addressed Justin, implying that Justin was brainwashed into turning against him. He wrote, "Get your girl before I get mad. You're supposed to be my friend, right? You wasn't there when the Kardashians kidnapped my kids." So when you put it all together, it really starts to paint a picture of something much darker going on behind the scenes of Justin and Hailey's marriage. A lot of fans are now starting to wonder if Hailey is one of those handlers Kanye's been talking about, assigned to keep Justin in check. Some are even speculating that Hailey's there to make sure Justin doesn't expose the dark secrets of the entertainment industry, especially since we all know Justin witnessed some pretty alarming things as a child star. It's a crazy theory, but when you connect the dots, it's hard to ignore. So, what's your take on all this? Do you think Justin's marriage to Hailey is really an arranged setup, and is she acting as his handler? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss out on the next video.